Government IT workers by day, persuasion enthusiasts, and verbal cage fighters the rest of the time.
If you'd like to level up your persuasion game to godlike levels, grab your favorite stimulant and prepare yourself for the persuasion hit of the day. It's the Persuasion Club podcast, and it
It
starts
starts
now.
now. Now.
Now.
Now. Come on. Now.
The computer starts later,
Yeah,
but the
well,
show starts now. Yeah.
Hey, if that's the only technical difficulty that we have for the night, I'm okay. So
That'll be winning. Yeah, no worries.
that will be
That's
winning.
not even bad.
Hey, welcome, folks, to the show. It's the Stephen Kevin Show. Well, not really. We got to add ourselves to the stage here. I just hadn't done that yet. For this view, it's us.
Hey.
Welcome. We are happy to see you tonight. We are putting our show together as we speak, but I think we've got our shit together. At least I hope so. Well, how you doing, Stephen? I hadn't had a chance to talk with you, but I think maybe something happened here since the last episode that we did. Um,
Well, that is true. 2 days ago on the 26th, I had a baby.
all
So
right.
the baby has been born.
The baby has been born. Congratulations, Stephen. That is so awesome.
Thank you. Thank
I
you.
knew all of this stuff. We had it all pre-planned there that Stephen would give me the text and let me know when things were going down, and that's exactly what happened. So,
Yeah.
um, yeah,
Oh,
that's
man. It's
fabulous.
crazy.
I
Yeah, she's
have.
doing really well.
I'm going to go
You
ahead and
have,
jump forward because I think I actually have some pictures to share that. So, first one that Steven sent me, check that
yes, there she
out.
is.
Gorgeous.
Yes. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh,
Yeah. The beautiful, beautiful baby. And this one here, I thought this cracked me up. The one with the
yeah.
cat.
Yes.
So I had to
Oh,
use that. So
it was funny as soon as we brought her into the house, because we stayed at the hospital for like a day and a half. It wasn't really that long. It felt like, and all the cats were just like right on her. I'd kind of put her down on the ground, and they all kind of swarmed and were sniffing. And
we
then
got five of the cats, by the way.
5 cats, yes, they were all there, all curious. And, earlier today, one of them was sleeping in, with next to her in her bassinet, so that was cool. We were watching, making sure that they're all doing good together, but, yeah, we have some that are already getting really comfortable. So,
Good,
uh,
good.
but you can see that orange cat, Happy, he's still
Is
pretty
that
curious
Happy?
about what's going on. His name's Happy, yeah.
Looks like he was. Hey, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Those eyes are just like laser
Yeah.
focused.
Yeah. Yeah, he is pretty concerned about everything, so, a new person is very concerning, so
Yeah, for sure. Well, Stephen, congratulations. I'm so proud of you for being here tonight because I certainly wouldn't have been, man. I had to say, screw that, man. See you
thank
later.
you.
But
Thank you.
here he
I
is.
I
That's dedication, man.
I love this podcast, I'm here. I find it really fun, and we talked, I probably won't be here for the after show party, but,
Yeah,
I wanna
that's
make
quite all right.
sure I always look forward to this, so it's my pleasure to be here.
Great. Well, since we're here, let's go ahead and take care of a little business.
Oh, yeah.
And is it going to play? Is it going to play?
It's
It's doing some weird stuff tonight. It's supposed to be playing some music for us when we go into business mode, but it's not. So, um, yeah, that's weird. I don't know why it's being the way that it is.
Oh,
But
I heard some music.
did you?
Was that from the radio
There we
station?
go. I think I got it there. Just a little late on the draws there. Why don't we go ahead and go right to the socials? Remind people about how they can find us. Right there.
Check us out.
We're on Rumble. We're on YouTube. Yeah, all these other things. You can check us out anytime, day or night. But mostly 6:00 p.m. on Sunday nights. This is when we do our show. Please subscribe too. It helps us out. Makes other people find us. That's always good. And let's see, what else do we got? We'll remind people here that we have in our chat on Rumble, if you're on Rumble today, we have our Scott emote. Just look for that in the chat. It looks a little bit like this here. So you can check that out and send us some Scots if you wish. And then last of all, we do have our Persuader of the Week.
Persuader. These are the best.
Yeah. My trouble that I'm seeing is that these audio or these clips aren't wanting to play as quickly.
Oh, honey badger. It doesn't give a shit.
Really don't give a shit.
That's funny.
We didn't have any submissions this week, so like I kind of threatened last week in a funny sort of way that if you don't send in submissions, we're just going to have to give it to the honey badger. So there you go.
Well, I have a couple of submissions I need to put in there now. I've got some good cat with baby photos that I'll have to upload a few more of my cats here. So
Nice.
more on the way.
So I'm trying to find the mode that just kind of acts normal. This one here, I don't know. It's weird how these screens don't really let you adjust. Oh, what the hell did that happen? Yeah, people are probably going to listen to the audio version and like, what the heck are you doing there? He's just screwing around with his rumble controls or whatever. But trust me, folks. I'm actually trying to do some stuff with this. It's just been very cumbersome tonight. I've had all kinds of issues, echo issues that were going on that could only be solved by refreshing the browser, but then they would come back and I'd refresh later on. So it's just kind of a pain in the butt, but
What a pain.
um why why don't we because we also need to remind people of that going persuasion.club/persuasion. Just it's so easy. You can do it even from your mobile device. We've made it so easy to do. You just go pick the cat from your library. You can crop it, adjust it, resize it, all that stuff. Enter in a couple of things and hit done, and boom, there it goes. So, well, let's go ahead and get to the very thing that we said that we were here for, which is Win Bigly.
Yeah.
Folks here, the book that we're talking about and have been talking about for the last several weeks is Win
What a great book.
Bigly, this second edition of Win Bigly by Scott Adams. All right. So now we'll try to switch to a view that is a little bit more, and I think it's just going to have to look like this tonight. It's kind of screwy looking.
That's cool.
Whatever the
Hey,
hell.
kind of looks cool. It's like offset. I like it.
Yeah, I guess so. It's just like normally you have adjustments that you can do to them, but it's just being a piece of crap tonight. So anyway, we had pretty much gone through a very good chunk of part 3. We had done, I think, part 1 of part 3, then 2. We did a part 3 of part 3 last week, and now this is, or no, there was part 2
We had
last week.
Jeff was in between 1 and 2.
That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Yes, confidence maxing Jeff was he
Yeah.
joined us. We hope to have him back very soon. because we'll probably think about doing his book next. But now, no, 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 no. We've decided that we were going to go ahead and spend a little more time. Didn't feel quite done with part three of the book, and it's a pretty chunky bit, if I might say so. It's um, kind of like the first couple chapters go by, parts go by pretty quick, and then you get to that third one. It's like that's pretty meaty.
Yeah. No, seriously, and he covers so many things that are foundational, I feel like, to the rest of the book, like talent stack and a couple of different things where he's laying down the basis of what he's really been talking about. So I feel like this is a big it does feel like a very big chapter. And last week we kind of mentioned, well, I don't know, I'll let you kind of share what you were wanting to talk about this week. But in my head, I was kind of focused on the persuasion tips that he was giving in this chapter or in this part of the book. And so I'm prepared to talk about whatever, but there was a few persuasion tips that I would be cool to talk about if we have
Yeah,
time.
yeah, for sure. I queued up some clips too that we could play, and I want to admit that they're not exactly perfect, but if we play them, we could probably get something out of them that we could talk about.
Cool.
So,
Okay.
if you don't mind, I have. Let's see. This is the first one. Oh, come on! Tell me you're not going to play. It is the day for
Sunday. Just like Chick-fil-A, technology likes to take Sundays off. So
well, it'll put us on the spot and actually make us have to talk about it ourselves if we don't have the clips. But that appears to be the case tonight. Is not going to play the clips. Well, you did a really good job last week, I have to admit. And I took some good notes here of you had talked about reputation and publicity, and then negotiation skills. I find it actually kind of funny to think about negotiating and what it must be like to negotiate with Donald Trump. Seeing as that he wrote the
yeah.
book, you know,
Yeah, yeah.
on that, can you
The
imagine
art.
like people like,
Yeah.
oh man, I gotta make a deal with Donald Trump, you know?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
mhm. So that goes to the reputation piece of things. That people like us that are in the beginning of our journey of learning skills of persuasion are not going to have all of the skills, but you have to really imagine what are you going to look like in 5 years or in 10 years or something like that, and um, don't look at yourself the way that you are today and say I can't do this, because if you do this and you really try and you do what did Jeff refer to them as the reps, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
of really just exercising those muscles, then you will get better at it. And so the being able to bargain, being able to negotiate, being able to make a deal or something like that, if you're not good at it now, practice, get better at
Yeah.
it,
Yeah, yeah,
because yeah,
yeah.
go ahead. Well,
Get on
what is your
Facebook
reaction to that?
Marketplace. Facebook Marketplace, start haggling with people, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes I do okay at that, and people are like, "Yeah, okay, I'll take that,"
Yeah,
Then other people are
yeah.
like, yeah, they offer back, and it's like only $5 less, and it's like,
You
like
know,
that wasn't worth
hey,
it.
you won't receive if you don't ask. The best
Yeah.
thing to do is ask and see if it changes.
Yeah. I guess $5 is $5, so you look at
Yeah,
it that way. So
yeah, yeah, go
yeah,
buy a Slurpee afterwards.
yeah. You had also noted public speaking as being important to the game. So if you're not a good public speaker, then you need to actually find ways of getting better at being a public speaker. One great way to do that is start a podcast. So do that. You could
Absolutely.
actually be a better public speaker. Just keep doing it, right?
Reps. Get those
Yep.
reps in.
Mhm. Or Toastmasters. I think that's, in fact, we have a Toastmasters group that meets in our building where we work once a week.
Yeah.
Those people look interesting. I don't know if that would, I, it, I do want to sit in sometime and check it out because it would be
Yeah.
interesting. But
The curiosity is there. I'm not sure if the commitment is there, but I do wanna go just to check it out. So maybe
yeah,
someday we'll have to agree on, like, a day that we both go, and then we can, you know,
yeah, we could at
just
least go together so that if
consider it
we decide we want to
homework.
leave, we can leave together.
Yeah, so we're not alone.
You're not alone. But that's public speaking. People, if you don't know Toastmasters, and it's funny because I know it because it's been around for a long time. So, and I've been around a long time. So, hey, but there are a lot of people that don't even know what Toastmasters is. And it's essentially a group of people that meet together and give speeches to each other, essentially. It might be generalizing it too much, but that's the idea, is that you're building your public speaking skills by presenting to others. And then I believe that they critique you and help you and give you notes and stuff like that. So, anyway, and the sense of humor was another one. So, being able to be quick on your feet and have a good sense of humor can help you out. I don't know what you do if you if you're not good at that, but
Yeah, that does take some practice too, 'cause, uh, yeah, being quick on your feet or thick-skinned, those kinda things come with, they say that some people can dish it out, but they can't take it, and I feel like working on being able to take it, if you're gonna say something and make a joke out of something and someone makes a joke back, but you might be the subject of the joke, it's good to also work on the thick-skinned part of, like, being able to take jokes or maybe criticism, which could either come from Toastmasters, with where it's, like, kind criticism,
Mhm.
or people firing back at you. If you make a joke about someone else, they may make a stronger joke about you, just to get revenge, and that also can help you become thick-skinned, so
Yep, yep. It's funny because, I know that people will look at some of the behavior of people like Donald Trump, and the way that they speak and the way that they talk, and stuff like that, but they don't always realize that that is a classic New Yorker, kinda style that he has, and if you look at other, especially if you're, like, from Queens and stuff. That's how they talk. It's like
yeah.
Donald Trump if I tried, but it's the tone of the language, the way that people connect in New York is totally different. So it might seem off putting to some people, but it's normal for them. Um,
Yeah, off-putting is a good way to put it.
yeah. So, Um, Stephen, I thought maybe I'll go ahead and turn it over to you for some of those persuasion tips. I thought I had one of them on
Oh,
here, but I don't know where it went. So we'll see what you got
well, that was a good summary, Kevin, of what we talked about last week. That
last
was
week.
a really good talent stack summary. So that was good. I in this book, in this part three of the book, the first persuasion tip that I kind of noticed and took note of was number 13, which means I don't know how many we've talked about in the past episodes, but we're already at 13. So
It's hard to believe, yeah, that just
yeah.
in this chapter, yeah, or this part.
Yeah. So he said it was persuasion tip number 13: use the high ground to frame yourself as an adult in the room, and people will either join you or become the small thinkers.
Ooh, I
Thought that was
love,
interesting.
I love this one, the high ground maneuver.
Yeah.
And we know we've talked about this one a little bit. The visual, of course, is kind of you can't think about the high ground without thinking about Star Wars Episode Two. Is
Was it?
it?
Is it? Yeah. Two or three. Yeah. Yeah. One of the before Darth Vader is a thing. Uh,
Yeah, yeah,
because that
and
scene kind of leads to the need for the Darth Vader suit. But
right, yeah. So I guess
yeah,
that might be the 3rd movie.
might be.
But yes, and anyway, so, there's that part, of course, where Obi-Wan's like, "I have the high ground," It's
Yeah,
like
it's like telling him to give up. He's like, "I've got the high ground,
yeah,
Anakin. Like, don't be an
and
idiot."
so, let's go ahead and explain what the high ground means. Basically, it means you have the advantage because you're above, so you can pretty much, do what you want because the other person has to climb up to get to you. So you can either jump down on them or you could just leave them there or whatever. It's like so.
Yeah.
High ground basically means you've got them. You should basically be able to. So the high ground maneuver. Let's get into that. What is the high ground maneuver, and how does that work?
So the way that I kind of took note of the high ground maneuver was that you frame the situation as though you're the adult and you're explaining to children how things work. So you're saying I'm the more mature one and let me tell you how it is, and then you can decide if you want to join me up here or if you just want to stay down there and be a kid. So
I, uh, I I had never really seen it basically demonstrated that way before, but it's so clear and easy to understand the way that you just talked about it okay, adult, child, or something like that. And I remember just a couple weeks ago, I was making a comment in a thread somewhere and arguing with somebody, and they made some kind of snide remark, and I think it was already down to the name calling, right? So we were already
yeah,
at the
that's rough. That's rough.
yeah, this what was this, the straw man. As a and so anyway, and I thought, well, I could have just like, well, blah 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 or something like that. And then I thought about it as like, okay, how would I apply the high ground maneuver here? And I'll confess that I really didn't know exactly what the way to do that would be. So I kind of got a little help from the AI, right? It's like AI help, I
Nice.
want to say this, but and help me. And it came back with something pretty damn good. And I can't remember exactly what it was, but it is pretty much like what you talked about, where it kind of like changed things in such a way that the person automatically like, oh yeah, okay. I either reply to this and I look like an idiot, or I just like leave it alone because I can't even keep up.
Yeah.
It was that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
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 Um
You know, that sucks. That's a bad spot to be in when you realize that you've been high grounded and you maybe your side of the argument and this happens in like it's happened to me in my marriage before where I make one side of an argument and then my wife makes the other side and it's like, well, shit, she's right. And I either need to be chill and say you're right, or I can just be a little kid and go to my room and close the door and pout for a while.
I
So
mean, there's an
I've
or
done
that
I've
you
done
that's even
both.
an option.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. I've definitely done both, but
I'm sorry.
I've learned that sometimes accepting so even if you've been high grounded, I guess in the past we talked about like defense mechanisms for like how people want to influence you and maybe there's a way to defend against it. And if you get high grounded, really the only thing that you can do to look mature is to accept defeat and agree and say, I'm okay, I'll step up to that level with you. You're going to make that person feel better because they high grounded you and they won, but also you will feel better because if you can really see that you're wrong, the best thing to do is just accept it. And the only way to not look like a child is to, you know, say, yes, you're right, I was wrong. And that's gonna hurt. That's gonna hurt your pride a little bit. But I feel like that's the only defense mechanism if you get caught in like an emotional argument and then you realize that you're wrong, the only way to kind of level the playing field again is to admit that you're wrong and step up on the high ground with them. So
Yeah. Yeah. It's I think that, if you can master that particular maneuver, get good at doing that, it can really change things in an amazing way because people are either just gonna not wanna fuck with you, or they're just
yeah.
or they're gonna, like you say, they're gonna step up, and that's what you want, you know? And
Yeah.
so,
And
yeah.
if it's like if it's a battle of, he said, she said, so to speak, if you end up agreeing with that person, they can no longer use that against you. That like the person who took the high ground first, if you join them, that kind of mutes that argument that they might have to call you stupid because you're now agreeing with them. So if they call you stupid and you've agreed with them, then they're calling kind of themselves stupid. So it kind of shuts down the argument as well, because you've taken their side. So now they can't make fun of you for not taking their side. So anyway, that's what I think.
Nice, nice. All right. I think that we could spend a whole bunch of time just talking about that one, but let's see
Yeah.
what else you got.
Number 14, persuasion tip number 14 was when you attack a person's belief, they are most likely to harden their stance than to believe you.
I'd agree with that,
Yeah.
or I could say, "Well,
I'm
that's
not.
bullshit, man. That's bullshit."
Yeah. Yeah. Because, growing up in a religious household, the whole thing was the world will not agree with like what with us. The world is naturally going to say that you're wrong. And so you have this mindset of when someone disagrees with me, it's actually rooting deeper my belief in what my religion or whatever, because they said that that would happen. Like the book said that they would disagree. And then when they disagree, you're like, yeah, see, I'm right because they're disagreeing with me. It feels weird and random, but
Self-fulfilling.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
If you tell yourself that someone's going to like make fun of you or disagree with you before they actually do, then when they do, it'll actually reassure you that you are right somehow. So it's interesting how that happens.
That is interesting. Okay. Um, hmm. All right.
Yeah.
Well,
And it's pretty straightforward, but yeah, I feel like yeah, it's hard to disagree with it.
he definitely. I have to confess, I think that you have done a good job of being prepared for tonight, even maybe a little bit more than I am, considering all that you had going on.
Uh,
I was fighting some technical demon. You're laughing. You're laughing.
oh, sorry. You did. I think we had a small glitch, but no, I had this stuff prepared a couple weeks ago because I like really dove into this part. So I'm living off of notes I took a couple weeks ago. To be completely honest.
No, that's totally fine. Some days are better than others, and more often than not, I try to be prepared than under. And I was a little bit more when we were talking last week. So I'm just so glad that you've got some of this down. So does he have a 15 in this one?
Yeah. So this is the last one that I
Okay.
have notes on. So, persuasion tip number 15, it says studies say humans get more addicted to unpredictable rewards than predictable rewards.
More addicted to unpredictable rewards.
Yeah.
Hmm. Well, what do you think? Why do you think that is so?
I'm not sure if it's like I don't have a ton of notes for like where this came from or like what the context was, but it kind of makes me think about like gambling. Like, gambling is such a addicting thing for a lot of people because you never know what's going to happen when you push the slot button or when you roll
Hmm.
the dice. Um,
Yeah.
People
Yeah.
really love to, yeah, like even if they're going to lose most of the time, they love that they can potentially win big, or win bigly. So it's kind of
So it's the thrill, yeah. Yeah, there
yeah,
is
the
a
thrill.
psychological piece to that too, which I am so glad that I, have never had a gambling addiction because I can't really imagine what that would be like, you know? It's like
Oh,
I have no problem walking away from something, but I can, sort of imagine what it must be like for someone who can't, you know?
yeah, like, I don't know when the last time you went to, like, a casino was. There's a few here in the state and,
Yeah.
you know, but y I feel like every time I've been to a casino, I only have so much money, so I always have a budget.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
the commercial says, like, set a budget or a time limit and stick to it.
Yep.
But for me, it was like, well, I have to set a budget because 'cause I'm living on a budget. So, going to ever gamble, I could never go beyond. But there are people that, that you see in there, they've got a camper in the parking lot. They're, like, living there, and
Yeah.
they're just, like, smoking a pack a minute of cigarettes, and they're just hitting buttons, and, it's, like, their life, and I don't know how they fund that. Maybe they are winning, and they're using it really slowly, but man, like 2 or 3 hours in at a casino, it's like, "What time of day is it? There's no windows. I need to get out of here. I don't know what's going on, and I lost all my money," or that's generally my experience. So, it can be
Interesting. Yeah.
fun,
So I wonder
but
how, in the realm of that particular persuasion tip, how you could utilize that to your advantage. So
mm,
if people are more addicted to unpredictable awards and it seems rewards, I should say,
yeah.
that it seems like you could utilize that in a way to
I wonder, I know I see Chuck Saden said in, Twitter or X, chat that expectant rewards do not motivate. So I feel like there's something there where maybe if you know the reward, it's not
you're
worth
less
chasing.
likely to want it.
Maybe, yeah, like you're like,
Yeah.
oh, I don't really want that. But if you don't really know the reward, you might put more energy in just to see what that reward is.
Oh,
So,
there was a really great game show. You've probably heard of it from the olden days. Let's Make a Deal.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So it's like, all right, well, behind
yeah,
door number one, we have this, and it's like,
yeah.
all right, good, good. So you gonna go for this or you gonna take what's
Take
potentially
what's
behind
behind.
door number two?
Yeah, yeah. They
Oh,
did that with like dating shows too.
yeah, yeah, yeah. "Yeah, I'm gonna go for a Bob. All right, psh, door number 2. It's a piece of shit, It's like, "All
Yeah.
right, you lost."
Oh, great. But hey, the thrill of the chase was worth it, right?
Yeah. Well, damn. Yeah, I could see where, if you could play into people's, desire for the payoff,
Yeah,
then that's I think that is a form of persuasion.
yeah. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, like, uh, I'm trying to think of a real world situation, but, like, I can't super think of too many good ones. I'm just like, if you're trying to persuade someone to do something, maybe not telling them the end result 100% or leave it open and say, "You know
Mhm,
what?
mhm.
We'll do this job for you and we'll paint your house. And, if we have time, maybe we'll paint all these other things." I'm not sure how to really apply it to like, if you're going to use that in persuasion, but I know how it applies to gambling. That's,
Yeah.
that's about
Yeah,
it.
okay, yeah. I bet you that if we thought about it for a little while, we would probably think of some ways that that might actually work.
Yeah.
That would be kind
Yeah.
of interesting,
Yeah.
but
It's a
yeah,
good one. Yeah.
yeah. Alrighty. Well, I'm looking at some other notes here. Do-do-do-do. That's about all I have. Did you have anything else that you wanted to add to the mix tonight?
I don't want to hold us up, but the last, honestly, after Persuasion Tip 15, I only have a few more lines of notes, and it all has to do with how fear can be deeply persuasive to maximize your persuasion. and he talks about he kind of breaks down 5 points for using fear, which I found interesting. And then my notes are over. So
Well, now I'm trying to imagine like fear in what sense do you think? What were the
yeah. So the first point, because there's 5 points he made. The first point is a big fear is more persuasive than a small one.
Yeah, I remember
Okay,
reading that. Yep.
I get that. The
Hmm.
second one is a personal fear is more persuasive than a national problem. Something that's more
Okay, it's
personal to
closer to
you,
home.
more local. Yeah.
Hmm.
The third was a fear that you think about most often is stronger than one that you think about rarely or more rarely.
Well, that would make sense. So,
Totally
like the
makes sense.
fear of
Pretty simple.
drowning, or yeah, whatever.
Yeah,
Everybody has
isn't
like a
that yeah,
fear of
yeah,
dying a certain
like
way. So
quicksand. Quicksand
yeah,
was such a big one growing up.
what is
Uh,
the
did you well, I think it was, the Princess Bride where there's, like, a quicksand scene,
yeah,
uh, and I was, like, The Princess Bride was one of the movies that we were allowed to watch the most in school,
yeah,
and there's always that scene where
pretty
he's
clean.
fighting, like, the big, like, forest rat, I can't remember what they call it, the
Yeah.
rodent of unusual size or something like that,
Uh-huh.
uh, and, anyway, so there was a fear of quicksand. I remember that
Quicksand.
vividly.
Yeah, quicksand would be a big one. I would yeah, I wouldn't want
Yeah.
that.
So, point number 4 was a fear with a visual component is stronger than one without. Okay.
Okay. Well, how could you not have a visual component to the fear?
Like, if you're just yelling it at someone, like,
No.
like, I think of, like, street preachers where they're, like, doom and gloom, where they're like, "The world's gonna
Oh.
burn. You're if you don't repent, blah, 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 you're gonna
Turn or
die.
burn, yeah.
Turn or
Okay.
burn." Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. As opposed to, like, something that's a little bit more like, yeah, um,
Yeah.
in your face,
Uh,
kinda, like, real, I
like, yeah,
guess, maybe.
show me a video of that happening, and then maybe I'll be afraid.
Yeah, show me a video of those people in hell.
Yeah, you can't not because it's all about faith.
Yep.
Um, just like, Wham said, "You gotta have faith." Um,
Have faith. Do,
bum,
do,
bum, bum, bum.
do.
And then the last point that I have, the last note on this chapter, part 3, number 5 was a fear that you have experienced firsthand is scarier than a statistic. Yeah. Oh, you're breaking up, sorry. I'm
Yeah,
gonna be behind.
yeah. Because a statistic is just something that's kinda nebulous stuff. Yeah?
There you go. I think we're caught up. Yeah, exactly. Like, saying that like one out of every this many people get something, it's like, okay, whatever. But if your family has actually had that health issue or a health scare,
Mhm.
there's something way more personal. It becomes super personal. So basically, it kind of relates to the second one where a personal fear is more uh, persuasive than a national problem. It's like,
Yeah.
well, yeah, that makes sense.
Interesting because then, depending on how you're trying to persuade, you might be able to craft, your persuasion in such a way as to, um, reach the highest, potential, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
So,
Like telling me that the Yellowstone National Park is built on a super volcano, that's kind of scary. But then
yeah,
telling me that there's a Pacific Northwest fault line that's going to divide and crack all the states in half on the West Coast.
you're
Well,
gonna
okay,
slip
well,
into
I
the
live on
ocean.
the West Coast,
Yeah,
that's way
that's a
scarier than the
problem.
Yellowstone one. Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
problem.
kinda frown on that, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Let's not talk about that. That's scary.
right. Okay, okay. So that I think that I remember we were having a conversation towards the end of the day at work this week, and we were talking about that whole thing about being able to be quick on your feet. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I think a lot of these forms of persuasion that we're talking about here Kind of like the that Rosie O'Donnell thing that we talked about last time and the time before
Yeah,
that, where to be able to come up with a quick response that is that um, not just well crafted, but pointed, if you will. I don't know. That's a special skill. But all of the things that you're talking about here, some of them you can probably kind of quickly, you know. But if you're thinking it through, which I would have to do, I just can't do it that quickly. I'd have to like, all right, how can I rephrase this thing that I'm trying to say? You know, but
yeah,
eventually, again, if you keep trying, the idea is that pretty soon you will be good at it. You'll just be able to like,
yeah, yeah. I feel like knowing your audience is a big deal. If you know your audience that you're trying to persuade, I feel like things will come to your mind quicker about how to persuade them. If you are walking into a bunch of dentists, a group of dentists, and you start talking about eye care, they don't care about any of that.
uh,
Uh, it's good to know your audience and to know who they are if you can.
mhm.
So that way, you can personalize things and make it way more impactful because talking about things that are way huge and really far from us shouldn't impact people as much as the things that are close to home. So it's kind of how I took it.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I like it. Well, I thought maybe I would try one more time to play some of the clips, but if it doesn't work, then I think we would call it good. See what we get out of this.
Hopefully they
Nothing.
work.
We've got nothing.
Oh man.
I don't know why that is. It was all working before, but that's just kind of the way these things go. I know that we talked about trying to keep it short, but we might have a little bit of time left here since we're not at an hour. Did you want to try a little gameplay?
Let's do yeah, I've got it loaded. I don't know if you want me to run it or if you want to run it.
Oh, that
Are
worked
you
pretty
thinking?
well. That worked pretty well. So do you got yeah, I'll switch over here and
Yeah, let
see what we
me
get.
um part 3 win bigly. Let me do the last one. Or what would you suggest? Hmm. We have
Oh, I
win
think that would
bigly
be
part
okay.
3 number 10.
Oh,
I'll start.
hey, listen, I finally got that to work.
Oh, the clip?
Yeah.
Let's see it if it
You
works.
hearing it?
I do not.
You do not hear it. Okay, so it's just in my ears, so that doesn't really help you, does it?
Oh, is it because the, Persuasion Club
Am familiar
podcast is
with all
not,
of the tools
up
of
here? Oh.
influence.
Oh, I can hear it.
I learned in hypnosis
Oh,
class
you're hearing it now.
that it is easier to persuade people when
Hypnosis
they
class.
expect
Yeah.
to be persuaded.
Okay.
If your
Uh,
persuasion skills are viewed as credible, people will persuade themselves that you can persuade them. And that makes everything
I'm
easier.
hearing it playing twice though, so that's kind of a problem.
I only hear it once, but
Really.
I didn't
Am
see anything,
familiar
but I
with
could hear
all of
it.
the tools of influence.
It's actually doing a weird echo thing when I play it, so I think we might just avoid that tonight and not do
Oh,
that.
okay.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Okay. But let's see if the game's gonna help be any nicer to us tonight.
Alright. So, actually, I'll reload the game. Let's go.
Do you hear that music?
Bum, bum. Yeah.
Okay.
Tonight
Cool.
on the game, Persuasion
I
Club
have to switch to our
Trivia.
screen. Hey,
Do we have an official name for the game?
who wants to be a persuader, right?
Oh my gosh. Thank you.
I mean,
I
that's kind
spaced it.
of
Yes.
the name I'm running with right now, unless we come up with a
That's
better idea.
I know.
Mhm.
That's one of those things that slipped my mind this week. That's my first
Yeah.
big stumble tonight, so.
No. Hey, man, you've got all the reasons. I've got none. So
Well, hey,
tired,
that's
Dad.
yeah, I know it's catching up to me, like, right now.
Yeah.
Let's go. Question one. Let's start it off.
Okay.
Uh, the hardest Adams lesson from part three for smart analysts. A. Only policy depth decides modern elections. B. Charisma is random and untrackable forever. C. Every voter uses your spreadsheet assumptions. Or D. Campaign outcomes can be driven by persuasion tools your model ignores.
Well,
Uh,
I like that one actually. That D answer.
yeah,
Plus, it's like the only one that makes sense. So I'd be more inclined to probably go for that.
let's do it. I'm cool with that. As soon as I read it, I was like, I like that answer. Hey, it's green.
Awesome. Yay.
Awesome. Woohoo. Okay, that was quick. Let's go on to the next question. Which sequence best matches Adams' compound campaign logic? A. Apology, then hide, then policy PDF, then hope. B. Debate jargon, then instant victory, then no follow up. C. Random facts, then silence, then more footnotes, then confusion. Or D. Table setting, then bold frame, then visual anchor, then repetition.
Okay, that's a very interesting question slash set of answers, because the answers are basically a sequence of events. So that's basically it's saying, and that's even in the question, which sequence best matches the compound campaign logic. And because of the way that these answers are designed, Stephen and I were kind of talking about this the other day, is that it tends to give you some kind of answers, and then one that's pretty almost obvious the answer.
Well, yeah, for this one, I'm like, oh, the f- uh, speaking of like Jeff Callahan and confidence maxing, like repetition always kind of hits home.
Hmm.
Uh, so
And
I kind of
maybe,
lean towards, yeah,
yeah, part of why the answers seem obvious to us is because we are getting a little bit better at it. Maybe it wouldn't make as much sense to anybody. So the idea in answer D, which starts with a thing called table setting, is, and I don't know that we really got into that discussion when we were talking about, but setting the table is akin to persuasion. So that's another book by our good buddy Robert Cialdini. Has this the second book as persuasion, and it's like the things that you would kind of do beforehand before you actually start in on your actual persuasion. So that might be framing, like how you might frame something for somebody. It might be
Mhm.
um, even the the kinds of things that you talk about and the kinds of things that you don't talk about prior to persuasion. There's a lot of things that go along with that, but table setting
Yeah,
is kind of like that stage, setting the stage. Does that sound right, Stephen? Am I bullshitting
totally.
there?
No, no. In my head, I'm thinking like it totally makes sense. I like the phrase table setting. It's like before you eat dinner, you put the plate on and you put your silverware down, you put your cup down, and then you bring the food in. It's like you want
Yeah.
to set the table so that when the food gets there, you can just start serving up and eating. Makes
Hmm.
total sense. Yeah.
And if you use the fine china and you put down a nice tablecloth and you get out the nice silverware and stuff like
Yeah.
that, then it makes the food look better, right?
Yeah.
So
Oh,
I,
yeah. You look royalty. Yeah.
I love the analogy that you just used, because I was able to just attach to that and add other things, and you
Yeah.
could see literally that table being set, and well, put a nice decoration in the middle, a candle, light it on fire, um,
Yeah.
all these different things, and imagine just a shitty table, with just a crappy plate and an unwashed fork, or imagine a well set table, that looks like you're dining in a fancy restaurant. It is kind of how you want your persuasion to work.
It's a good
So
way
to
to put
answer
it.
your question, Regis, I think we're going to take D.
I'm thinking D sounds really good about now because I want that money. Hey,
Hey.
it turned green. Good job.
So
That's good.
we're up to
And good
$2.
logic
So I'm
there.
sorry. Yeah, sorry for that long-winded answer, but it was an opportunity to actually talk about some things that I had forgotten about, that I wanted
Yeah,
to, the whole table setting thing, and the persuasion. So, yeah.
that's good, man. Let's
Mhm.
take all the time to expand on that. I like that. So question number 3 is: if you accept the talent stacks, you must also accept that A, resumes are the only fair metric. B, public performance skills can outweigh traditional credential wars. C, television never influences politics. Or D, branding is unrelated to votes. Hmm.
Yeah, I think that, the answer in this one too is a lot like the other one. It kind of just sitting out there going, me.
I do like B. I don't know what you're thinking. You think
Mm-hmm.
B is looking good?
B is me.
Public performance skills can outweigh traditional credential wars is correct.
Hmm.
Woo!
Yeah.
Okay, good.
You'd have to look that one up, folks, if you want to a little bit more, but we won't explain that one. We'll just move on.
Yeah, yeah. We've moved on to question number 4. Two movies, problem plus confirmation bias means your opponent's voters will. Okay, sorry. The two movies problem
Mhm.
plus confirmation bias. I read that weird.
Yeah, it's
Means
kind of a
your
weird.
opponent's. Yeah, it was kind of teed up. But I'm
Yeah,
getting it now.
it's
The
cool.
problem and confirmation bias. Your opponent's voters will be or will A, instantly convert when you cite any source. B, often interpret your best facts as propaganda from the other tribe. C, stop using identity to filter evidence. Or D, always share your perceptual frame.
Ooh.
Your opponents will, because you're
So,
watching two movies, or is it two movies, one screen? Is that
mhm.
the thing we're
Yeah, you
talking about?
got it.
Okay.
We should explain that one for folks that may have not heard that one. So I'll just do a real quick rundown of what two movies on one screen are.
Yeah.
So imagine that you and another person have just seen a story on the news and about a particular event. And then after you've seen that story, you both walk away from that very same thing with, or it could even be a live event. It doesn't even have to be something on the news. And you could walk away from that thing and you could have totally different perceptions of what happened at that event. And it's called two movies on one screen. Basically, um, people take away different things from the very same thing. So facts don't change. It's just what the people say. So you take that problem and you add a little bit of your own confirmation bias. This is what the question is asking. Then what your
Yeah.
opponent's voters will do.
Yeah. This is a loaded question.
Hmm. You,
It's
you have
very
the special
thought
mode turned
provoking.
on.
Oh
D and
yeah,
D
yeah.
Wi-Fi.
Let me turn on the special mode. Oh, where is that? Okay, because
Yeah,
yeah, who knows what's going to happen here?
I'm gonna
Sensor
tell you
mode
which answer
off.
I'm gravitating towards. Is that okay?
Yes, yeah.
I think B is possibly the answer.
I yeah.
Do you have a thought?
I honestly, because I'm guilty of doing this, where when someone that I disagree with uh, like their best facts that they have, I'm always like, oh, that's just propaganda. I'm
Yeah,
guilty of
yeah.
that. So I do think that that is the answer.
Okay. Well,
Should I
we're
lock it in?
we're gonna find out. Yeah, lock it in, man.
Let's find out. Oh, okay. Woohoo!
Yeah,
Right.
often interpret your best facts as propaganda. So, because
Yeah.
that's yeah, if you already have a confirmation bias and you're watching your own movie. Yep.
Yeah. No, for sure. That's a good one. That was a good um thank you for laying out the two movies,
Sure.
one screen. Yeah.
Yeah. That's how I understand it. I think someone else could probably do better with it. Scott was great with it. So,
Oh, that made total
'cause it was
sense.
his.
But okay, question number 5. We're almost halfway through. The trap finale, in quotes, persuasion means facts don't matter at all. Adams actually argues. So persuasion means facts don't matter at all. A, only falsehoods persuade. Or B, persuasion and information are identical. C, facts matter, but persuasion decides which facts feel important. Or D, facts are useless in every human domain.
Interesting.
Hmm,
Okay.
that is
I
interesting.
would say that we could easily eliminate the first two, but those C and D are contenders.
Should we use 50-50 and see what happens?
Well, we could. I think I know what the answer is anyway, but I just kind of wanted to point out for sure that A and B are not
Yeah.
acceptable to
Yeah,
me.
because only falsehoods persuade. I mean, a lot of falsehoods do persuade, but that's
Yeah.
not only true. So I like C the most, but I do see where D could have excuse me. I don't know what every human domain is. I can't name them, but I do feel like there's
Yeah.
a more of a point to D than A or B.
Well, in this one, the question is actually says that it's a trap. Trap finale.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means, but anyway,
Yeah.
it's a trap. But yeah, facts matter, but persuasion decides which facts feel important. I think are feels like a good answer to me. It feels pretty solid as opposed to
Yeah.
facts are useless. So let's go ahead and take it and see how we do.
Okay. Let's lock it in and reveal the outcome.
We win.
We
'Cause
win.
and folks, if you wonder, like, like, don't you guys put these things in the computer? No, we actually don't. We got
Kevin has
the
built an amazing
inventions.
system, and we do not know the outcome unless we were to dive into something, which we don't do, because
Yeah,
it's way more fun if we don't know the answers, to be completely
yeah.
honest.
We learn this way. So
Yeah,
yeah, we
exactly.
don't know the answers.
Okay, question number 6. We're in the second half. Scenario: you master every part 3 tool but refuse repetition. Adams predicts A, you win because novelty beats memory. B, voters prefer unread white papers. C, one speech is enough for rational saturation. Or D, your message may never achieve public stickiness. Hmm.
Interesting.
Uh,
So
again,
the scenario being that you've mastered everything in the book about um, part three. Is that what it
except
says?
for, yeah, basically
Except,
part 3, all the tools that he presents there, like the talent
uh,
stack and whatnot.
but you refuse repetition. So Adams predicts what will happen if you refuse to do repetition. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm,
And I like to associate the word stickiness with repetition.
yeah,
So when I saw D, I like that answer. I think
I think you're right. I think you are totally right.
you like that.
Uh
All
huh.
right, let's lock it in and see what the book says.
Yeah. I mean, if you think about it too, it's like repetition is key in advertising. That's why, jingles exist because jingles, are repetition more or less.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, yeah,
Get stuck in
I
your
think,
head.
hmm
You just repeat, repeat.
yeah. So we could do a whole show just on that. But we won't.
Future ideas. That's a good idea.
Oh, hey, look at this question.
Ooh, we get into Rosie. Okay. Okay, question number 7. Here we go. Rosie moment, the Rosie O'Donnell moment, plus the nickname that Trump uses, plus rally repetition is best understood as A, one isolated joke with no strategic structure, B, a stacked persuasion system operating on multiple levels, C, a mistake that worked once by accident only, or D, proof that policy never matters.
Hmm. Well, the right answer is glaring out at us, but there's another answer that I think is kind of, eh, possible. Let's put it that way. It's possible.
Which one do you think is possible,
I
but
think
not the right answer?
C would be the it's possible. So, in other words, if people don't remember, and I think we mentioned it on the show a couple of times before, because it's mentioned in this particular part of the book that there was a part or a time when Trump was on The View, was it?
That
Was
sounds right.
The
I
View? They
think
were giving
so.
him shit about women or something, and
Yeah.
that he treats women badly or something, and then his remark basically was only Rosie O'Donnell. Um, yeah. And
I
see,
do
you're
think
laughing already
yeah.
because we all know. I mean, like, that was the perfect response because there's nobody that the Rosie O'Donnell fan club is literally a one fan. So
Yeah, I think it's herself. I think that's pretty much it.
yeah, so he was able to utilize that, and the question here, and what I'm saying, answer C is that, and it wouldn't have been a mistake because I don't know that. Well, anyway, but he could have slipped up and said that. That's the only reason why I would have said C. But
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
And
but
I
that's
was
not the
almost
answer.
thinking A, like he just said it because he hates her and there was
Yeah,
no real like strategy, but it worked out so well. Um but because of the way we broke it down by reading part 3, I believe it's B,
yes,
right?
I concur. I
You're cool with
concur.
that.
Hmm.
Oh, and Chuck says in the X chat that it was Megan Kelly at a debate was the one that asked Trump
Oh,
that. So it was during a
Chuck,
debate.
you're so smart, man. I
Thanks,
love
Chuck.
Chuck. He,
Yeah,
he knows the good stuff.
Chuck's the man. All right, reveal outcome.
Woohoo! Woo doo doo doo. All
All
right.
right. Hey, we're
We're
cruising along.
we got $7 in our pocket now. If we take it, do you want to take it and
Yeah.
walk away?
Uh, let me look at this question and see. No, let's keep going. Let's
Mm,
keep going.
keep
Okay.
going for
Why
Feeling
did
rich.
oh question number 8. I should preface that. Here we go. Why does Adams say trained persuaders saw 2016 differently than many pundits? Oh, don't use that word every day.
Yeah,
Uh,
pundits.
A, they pundits.
Yeah, I don't like that
They
word
were.
for some reason.
It is kind of funny, and I don't even know the definition really. But uh, A, they were watching tools and stacks, not only policy resumes. B, they only cared about comedy. C, they rejected all evidence forever. Or D, they had secret polling inside every county.
Yeah, well, this question is the answers are not very good because they make the real answers stick out
Yeah.
because the other
Yeah.
ones are just kind of ridiculous. So, Regis, I think I will recommend A.
Let's lock it in. I think you are correct. Let's see what the system says. Ding 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 ding.
Yeah, they were watching tools and stacks, not only the policy resumes. Of course, yeah. Anybody who's trained in persuasion a little bit will start to notice the other people who are trained in persuasion. talent
Yeah.
stacks and all that stuff.
And
Just kind of
talent stack
starts the show.
keeps coming up.
Yeah.
Okay, we have 2 more questions left. This one is question 9. The deepest part 3 challenge to rational voter theory is that I got to show answers. Okay. A, all decisions are fully rational if you try hard enough. Or B, people often vote the story and identity they inhabit, not your spreadsheet. C, emotion is a myth invented by media. Or D, voters cannot understand language.
Well, I have a thought that with this one, seeing as that we're on question 9 and that we do have all of our lifelines, that we could actually use one on this one.
Okay. Well, which one would you
Um,
like to use?
Well, or we could save it in case the question 10 is we'll need them both. But do we need a lifeline on this one?
Hey, we
Let's
could try it out. Let's do it.
yeah. You want to do a 50-50? Or you want to do it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you cool with 50-50?
Yeah, I wanted to save the call photo or the vote for the next one.
Ask audience. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, 50-50. It removed A and C. So we're left with B and D. B is people often vote the story and identity they inhabit, not your spreadsheet. Or D, voters cannot understand language. I think that
And I
makes it
think
pretty
that
clear.
I think it's pretty easy to see that people totally will pretty much make up their own stories in their own minds. They don't really care about facts. So
Yeah.
not your
Yeah.
spreadsheet. Who gives a shit? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Let's lock it in. So that would be answer B. Let's see what happens.
Yeah.
Doo-doo-doo-doo.
All right.
Okay.
$9. We could walk away now, rich men, but we're gonna go for it.
If we win this, we can split a McDonald's meal. Let's
Maybe.
let's jump into the final question. Ultimate synthesis, Win Bigly part 2 of part 3 teaches that Trump era persuasion wins by A, avoiding all memorable communication, B, winning the footnote war while refusing to perform in public, C, stacking talent, visuals, frames, priming, boldness, and repetition into one public system, or D, assuming facts persuade themselves if you are morally correct.
Hmm. Well, D is an interesting answer there. I don't think it's right, but I think
Yeah.
it's an interesting answer. Put it up there and see what the audience has to say.
Let's do it. Let's ask the audience. I'm going to put together a poll for everyone. If you're ready, if for the audience, please go to the website on your screen, vote.persuasion.club. You could also put it in the chat if you really don't want to go, but in order to make it count and for it to help us out, go to the website vote.persuasion.club. And I will start the countdown in just a couple of seconds. There's going to be a 1.5 minutes or 90-second countdown, and I will go ahead and start that. The website should load up pretty quickly. Vote.persuasion.club. Let us know what you think.
Oh, you got a kitty cat, or is that a baby?
Oh, is this a cat?
Can't tell.
It's green screening him out.
Yeah.
This is Goose.
Goose,
He was
hey, Goose.
Persuader of the Week not long ago.
Yes.
Camera
I love
does
that
not
name.
like his fur. It's like green screening him out. But
Funny.
yeah, silly goose. He's a silly goose. I think he just used the litter box. My hands smell like litter now. Oh no.
Great.
Okay, there's 25 seconds or so left. Vote.persuasion.club. Wonderful
No
choir.
votes. No votes. I guess we don't have any persuaders in the room tonight.
And maybe, what I'm thinking, Kevin, is that we've answered these questions so confidently that people are afraid to be wrong because we've been right every time. So
Well, that could be.
okay. Well, hey.
I guess we're on our own tonight. So
We are on our own.
yeah.
Okay. So
C, final answer.
C, final answer. I agree. It makes the most sense. It covers everything we've talked about.
Yeah.
Ding, ding, ding.
Well, all right. Ding, ding, ding. We win. We win.
Let's look.
Well,
We won $10. Good job, Kevin.
that was a good round. I like that. Some of those, I think that as we mentioned, we are going to try to get a little bit better answers mixed in so that it's a little bit tougher to figure out what's going on. But anyway,
Oh, this is great. Honestly, it reinforces the fact that we've done our homework, we've read the book, we understand the
agreed.
theories and the maybe not theories, but the content of what we're consuming. So I like it.
Yeah.
This is where I have to part.
Yeah.
I'm a little
This is-
past when I said I was going to disappear, but
yeah.
I
Thank you for
will-
hanging in there, Stephen. And it actually is a good time to end the show. Let me go ahead and do one quick little thing here. I did want to remind people, if they would, check us out on our social networks that we were talking about.
check us out.
And subscribe if you would, and all that good stuff. But for now, we're going to call it good. Ending our series, not our series, but chapter part 3 of Win Bigly. We're going to be doing part 1 of part 4 next week. Does that sound right, Steven?
All right. That sounds good. It basically was a whole series on just part 3. So
that was a lot.
that's
Yeah,
great.
definitely.
Yeah, that was a lot.
Enjoy your expanded family. Congratulations again, Stephen. First child. That's awesome. I'm so happy for you. I know a lot of our fans are too. So we'll be back next Sunday night, 6:00. Thanks again for joining us. Until then, have a great week. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.
Next time.
We're
Bye-bye.
doing Steven's going to take off. I'll do a little post show if anybody wants it. So,
See ya. Thanks, Kevin.
yes, Steve.